Hey everybody, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com. In this video here, I'm going to talk to you about the Deadwind Pass Ogre farming location. Now this farming location is going to be really good for people who are just dinging level 60, specifically melee users, because the ogres here have very low armor. As you can see, they're practically naked. And anybody who's fought ogres throughout the game knows that they're pretty susceptible to melee damage. This location is good for people with very crappy gear. Hence why people just dinging 60. So phase 1 and phase 2 are when people are going to get the most use out of this location. Now the ogres here are in their mid 50s, so they're going to be green to people who are level 60, which makes them even easier to kill. And you're going to get different types of ogres, melee ones, caster ones, and also there's a warlock one in here as well. I don't think there's a healer one, but I could be wrong. The ogres are all over this portion of Deadwind Pass. So the bottom right, the area called the Vice, and there's multiple caves in this area as well, which you can see here. Most of the caves are pretty small though. The northern ones, the two northern ones right here, they're small. The southern one though, it's pretty big. It goes back quite a ways. Another reason that I chose this location to talk about first on my list of farming locations is because there's no reason to come here whatsoever besides to farm these ogres. There's no quests that take place here. Alliance and Horde have absolutely no reason to come here except specifically to farm these ogres or to do the other farming location in Deadwind Pass, which I'm going to be covering with the next video, which will probably be uploaded at about the same time. Now, the main thing that you're going to be farming from these ogres is rune cloth. They drop quite a bit of rune cloth, and of course, they also drop a bunch of gray items too, which is usually to be expected off of, the level 60s. Or the higher level mobs. Any mobs for that matter. Greens, of course, also have a chance of dropping here. Blues, epics. I'll show you the loot lists on Wowhead in a second. But rune cloth and gray items are going to be your biggest money makers, along with the occasional green that you find. As you can see, it would be about 5 to 7 silver per kill as well. In my group of 5, I'm getting at least 1 silver split. And of course you can farm here solo too. Don't let my boxing fool you. Now as for the loot lists, here's some of the rares and the epics that you can get. Wowhead doesn't have a complete listing yet of all of the items that drop here. I guess because they don't have all of the old database from originally WoW Classic. But Dwarven Hand Cannon can drop here. Crawlblade is another one that can drop here. And basically all of the best in slot pre-raid epics. Skullflame Shield would be another one that would be able to drop here. And there's also a bunch of valuable recipes that drop here too. Mooncloth Bag is really valuable one. Well, at least 3 to 5 gold on the auction house. Superior Strength, one of the enchants. Also, these higher level enchants you would be able to sell for a decent amount on the auction house. The greens, I'd recommend you just disenchanting. It would save you a lot of money in listing prices. It's practically free to list enchanting materials, if not free. And you don't need a high enchanting skill in order to disenchant the items that you find here or anywhere. As you can see, gray item, bulky maul, quite a bit at the vendor. There's going to be chests that you can find at this camp as well, hiding around these areas, the little tents. But that's almost everything. I'll show you the bottom cave here at the ogres too, to show you how big it is. The other 2 caves you've already seen, they're pretty small. And for one last look, you pretty much just rotate all the way around the ogres, and you can go through the middle, the cave at the southern middle portion if you want. It's completely up to you if you want to go in the cave or not. If there's more than a few people farming here, which is quite rare, then you'll probably want to go into the cave to get away from them if they're not in the cave themselves. But it's pretty uncommon to find people here, which is one of the reasons I'd like mentioning this location early on. There'll be a few locations that I mention later that are almost always extremely camped. like the Satyrs in Felwood, for example. A lot of people know about that location, and You know, demonic runes, fell cloth, bunch of good stuff to farm there. That's going to be one of the locations I'm covering in a little bit. So as you can see from my mini-map, this is about the size of the cave. It's the standard basic cave model that pretty much Blizzard uses in all of their caves throughout the game. Small little cave, but it still has quite a few ogres in it. And I think there's a chance that a thorium vein spawns in here, but not a rich thorium, just a regular thorium, and probably mithril too. I would assume has a chance of spawning in there. No herbs that I've ever seen spawn in this area around here. Well, actually, I think I've seen dreamfoil before. I could be wrong. But that's pretty much all you need to know about this location. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.